Welcome. Within this video, I'd like to explore with you how you can recognize whether there's a trauma response going on inside you. So the first tell signs are that you feel small, disempowered, overwhelmed, out of control, and most likely you also might feel that you are run on autopilot, which might even be the case. There are other signs that you could recognize, but I find them more difficult. So, for example, you could observe your own breath, notice whether your breath is shallow, or you could notice whether your heart is beating faster, or whether you feel that your mouth is getting dry. When you are having these responses, it's usually that your frontal lobe is shutting down. You're usually going into fight or flight mode or freeze mode. And this means when the frontal lobe is shutting down, we usually have our thinking brain, more or less the analytical aspect, the logical aspect of us, not active. And instead, the limbic system is getting more activation. And the limbic system, the limbic brain, is for our emotions. It's the emotional response brain. And when we are in that state, usually it's the adrenaline is rushing through our veins. And we are moving from a previously maybe relaxed state where we sense many options, where we are the creator of our lives, into more or less a tunnel vision where we get very focused on what we do perceive as overwhelming, unpleasant, as a threat. And when we are very focused on this tunnel vision, it's also that we do not see many options available to us. And it's usually this fight or flight response or freeze response. So when we are going into the fight response, we are usually trying to solve it by approaching it directly and having a lot of energy mobilized, adrenaline rushing through our veins. We are trying to confront the situation in a way how we are pushing ourselves through. The flight response is the opposite movement. It's like we are retracting ourselves. We are avoiding conflict. We are trying to move out of that situation. And the least response that our body is choosing is the freeze, because then that means everything is shutting down. It's like playing dead man. We are trying to become invisible, to hope that everything that's happening is just passing by and we're going to survive it. So these are survival mechanisms. When you notice these, it can mean that you're absolutely in a situation that justifies whatever's going on inside you. But I have this wonderful exercise that's very helpful, and I'm using it myself. So I'm usually visualizing someone else in that situation or a very mature version of myself. So when I see someone else, I think of them as very mature, very empowered. And I'm asking myself, would they react the same way? Or would my empowered version of myself react in the same way? And when I notice I would, then I feel, okay, yeah, then my reaction is justified. But when I notice, okay, maybe there would be a better way how to solve that situation, then I realize, okay, maybe something is going on where my nervous system is overtly stimulated, overactive, and where I'm more or less in a trauma response. So there's also the other option of how you can recognize it. So when you see that you are just acting that way once, then maybe, yes, it was the situation. But if you notice that it's a continuous pattern in your life, that you are experiencing this inner response over and over again, this means that something within you is being activated by a trigger from the outside. But this something is already inside you. So there is something unresolved that deserves your attention. I really hope this video was helpful. I really hope that you find benefit in trying out these exercises. Let me know your experience. I'm really happy to hear from you and absolutely looking forward to seeing you next time. So take good care and goodbye for now.